Hey kids, it's Stingray 72 taking you along for the ride, literally. I wanted to come on really quick and speak about the Benadryl challenge. This Benadryl challenge is nothing new. That is not to degrade by any mean its severity. That is meant to say that these things have been happening for eons. Just the most recent, biggest one that I can remember or that comes to mind is the Tide Pod challenge, where kids were eating Tide Pods like they were pieces of bubble gum. Okay. These things need to be kept in the forefront because these children and people who are doing this are bored with all of technology that our children are afforded these days. There's still something missing. And that just goes to show that regardless of how much you have, you always want more. And it's disheartening because these children are reaching out, but they're reaching out to people who are paying attention. And the people and things that pay attention is social media. Social media, unfortunately, will be the detriment to a lot of us. Because we rely so much on it. We consider social media to be the end all to be all. And that's not necessarily true. That's not what social media is for. Social media is a social way of socializing. It is what it is. Those may be the wrong words, but I think you get what I'm saying. This Benadryl challenge, for those who don't know or have been living under a rock, Benadryl, is an antihistamine that can subside allergic reactions. It's given in doctor's offices. It's sold over the counter. Because it's sold over the counter, and a lot of times in these stores, these mega stores, you don't have to be a certain age, or if you do, they don't check to purchase this stuff. So a child that's 13, 14 years old can go into a grocery store or sometimes go into these major stores, a Walmart or so, and purchase these things without any adult supervision. Now, if they can purchase it without adult supervision, they're definitely going to take it without adult supervision. It's unfortunate, but it's really not that hard to do. And like I said, these children are looking for validation. They are looking to be acknowledged, because why else would you do something to harm you because of a dare that someone else has presented in front of you, or because you want to look like the bigger person or to win? There's no reason for that. That all comes back to self-esteem. In the video that I posted a few weeks ago about knowing your self-worth and just taking care of your mental health, all of that ties in. And this latest craze, if you will, is a TikTok challenge of all things, TikTok. And the reason why, I believe, the reason why it's so plausible now is because there are 3 children who are hospitalized because of it in Texas. And unfortunately, there's one 15-year-old who died in Oklahoma. And it's been going on for a while, but it's all of a sudden made relevant because this 15-year-old died from it. It shouldn't take a child dying from this to know, or to be made known that these types of things are going on. We need to get a better grip on our children. Now, understand that I understand not every child is going to do what they're told. That's why getting in trouble is a thing. People are going to do what people want to do. I don't care how much you think you're enforcing it. But the thing is, you can only give information to someone. It's up to them what they choose to do with the information you provide. That's it. So parents, don't beat yourself up too much when your child doesn't do exactly what you expect them to do. No one does exactly what someone else expects them to do. No one does. Hell, the people that tell us what to do don't do what they're supposed to do. So I think that it's really, really important that you not only pay attention to your children, but pay attention to their mannerisms and what's going on, because they may be falling into a state of depression. Like I said, just because your children or these children nowadays have all of these technologies, be it computers and cell phones and tablets and different channels, YouTube channels, and their followers on Instagram, that doesn't mean that they have everything. They're still lacking somewhere to where they feel that they need to have something like this in their life. I need to do something drastic in order to get attention. Not every person is going to tell you that they're looking for attention. Not every person is going to tell you that they want someone to look at them, because that sounds needy, albeit they are being needy. People want people to pay attention to them. It is what it is. You can deny it, and that's fine. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. I welcome your own opinion. You're supposed to have your own opinion. And if you agree or disagree, please, definitely, we can dialogue about it. Just leave a comment in the comment section below. But I wanted to come on really quickly because these kids are still going through these nonsense challenges, and the parents don't know anything about it until they hear about it on social media. There's no way that anybody should find out anything about their child on social media, especially if you communicate with your child, especially if you live in a household with your child. Now, granted, not all children are going to come to their parents with what, what's going on with their thinking and stuff like that. Know this. That doesn't mean you're a bad parent. That means at that point, that child does not feel comfortable with speaking to you about it. That doesn't make you a bad parent. And that doesn't make that child a bad child. Unfortunately, in the Black community, counseling is frowned upon for whatever reason. Now, that was when I was coming up. I don't know what the difference is now. I don't know if it's still frowned upon, but most people, if you mention counseling to them, they automatically think something's wrong with them. That doesn't mean something's wrong with you. That means that you have another outlet. You have another ear to bounce your idea off of, or how you're feeling. This is an unbiased opinion of someone who is on the outside looking in and who might be able to offer you a different way out, a different way of looking at things. There's nothing wrong with counseling. Counseling does not mean that there's something wrong with you. Counseling means that you want to discuss ideas. You want to get things off your chest, and you don't feel comfortable enough telling someone closer to you. Again, that doesn't make you a bad parent. It doesn't make them a bad child. But I would definitely suggest that with your kids, pay attention to their mannerisms, their behaviors. I mean, like, this medication, Benadryl, like I said, it's an antihistamine. It slows the heart rate. It can help you fall asleep. It makes people fall asleep. I take it because I have, when I get my Remicade infusions, they put Benadryl intravenously so that, to circumvent any type of reaction I may have to the medication, to the Remicade. So that's what that's used for in the medical sense. I've also taken it over the counter because, for an allergic reaction to something that I had eaten and my body didn't agree with. So I know what it can do. A lot of us know what it, knows what it can do. And the thing is, not only does it like slow your heart rate, it can cause seizures, heart arrhythmia. I mean, it can cause so many things. It can cause your heart to stop pumping blood. It can cause your heart to stop. And children, they're not looking into this. They're not going to look into this. Most adults don't look into it. We take medications that are prescribed by doctors because we trust the doctor. Honestly, how many of us do our own research on the medications that were prescribed? Hell, on the medications we buy over the counter, like Tylenol and things like that. No disrespect to those medications, but I mean, really, how many of us do our own research? No. We rely on what the doctors tell us because they've got the schooling and we trust the doctors. So we're going to take the medications that they suggest. We're going to do and follow their recommendations. We need to do that for our children. We need to be more conscious of what we're putting in our bodies. We need to be more conscious about what our children are putting in their bodies. I thank God that I have not ever had that experience with my children or with anyone, that I know, but I also feel for those parents who have gone through this, who are going through this. I could not imagine going through this. And just knowing that this 15-year-old girl in Oklahoma took that challenge, took that Benadryl challenge, and it took her life. And kids are going to look at that, and some are going to say, oh my God, I can't do this anymore. Look what happened. And some are going to have that, it won't happen to me because I know how to do it differently. Unfortunately, some people are going to feel that way. And we need to get a better grip on what our children are doing. We are not paying attention. We are not paying attention to what our children are doing. And they're killing themselves for attention. I seriously and honestly believe that these challenges are started out of boredom and for attention. Why else would this be happening? If you have any suggestions or if you have a different reason of why these things are happening, please leave it in the comment section. I want to understand. I I have nieces. I have nephews. I have a grandson. My children are grown, but I have these younger ones, and I would love to be on top of paying attention to what they're doing and just to know, to be able to show them differently, I mean, other than just showering them with affection is totally different than that. It all comes with learning your children and teaching your children. And no one's a perfect parent. No one is. So if these things are happening to your children, that doesn't mean that you're a bad parent. It doesn't. Because being a parent is one of the hardest jobs in the entire world. Not only are you responsible for you, but you're responsible for someone else's life. And again, you're not going to do it 100% every time. You're just not. And that's real. But I mean, like, if you do have electronic devices for your children, like tablets and cell phones and computers, monitor them. It's okay to monitor them. It's more than okay. If your children have social media accounts, be their friends. Some kids aren't going to like me hearing me say this, but it is what it is. Guess who get over it? You. Because someone's got to look out for these children. We've got to look out for our children. I may be all over the world. Let me get back to what I was saying. Just check for different things with your children. I mean, there are certain, your child, and their mannerisms, how they act around the house, how they speak. Just listen for different things. Just really pay attention. It's so important. It's so freaking important because these children really need us now. They've always needed us. But again, with all of this technology that's afforded them, it's kind of taken place of parenting. Kind of like when a baby cries, you give it a pacifier to just keep it quiet until it's time to feed them. I feel like that's what technology is for children. Us as parents, we give our children technology. We give them things. In order to keep them pacified until we can get to the root of the problem. By the time we get to the root of the problem, they've got so many things that we're lost. They're lost. And then they're farther away. We can't help them, you know. Watch out for mood swings. I don't know. Just children always, your child always wants to be alone. Has lost interest in any and everything. Everything. Just wants to just do nothing. I mean, eating habits have changed. It's disheartening. It really is, because this doesn't have to happen to children. Unfortunately, it does. And I know it happens to adults as well, but I'm more focused on the children who can't help it. And I don't know. I just wanted to, that was on my mind. And like I said, forgive me if I sound like I was all over the place. I really, really, really wasn't trying to be. I was really trying to stay on task. But one thing led to another, and I hope that I rounded it out, and just, you know, because this Benadryl challenge just really threw me. And I heard about it a few days ago, but I wasn't exactly sure of it. But I watched a couple of news clips on it and was doing some reading, and what I got from it was that children are really looking for, they really want attention. They really do. They're asking for attention. And how better to get it than to harm yourself, or to, you know, watch your children. Again, if you have any suggestions or different ways of coping, or, you know, helping children out who have gone through depression or who may be going through depression, please leave those comments in the comment section. I'm really interested to know more about this, because again, my children are grown, but I have nieces, nephews, and a grandson who are minors, and all of them are under 15, and I really want to be able to stay relevant with them. And some of you may have younger children, some of you may be younger yourselves, and whatever information, I'm up to hearing different ideas and things like that. I want things to be better, not just for my family, but for everyone's family. We need to share this information. We need to share different ways of communicating with children, because it's not just happening in your household. It's happening worldwide. And again, if you have some information that you can or will share, it can help someone. And I think that that's what it's all about. Black, white, or indifferent, these children need our help. So that's it. That's it. Once again, this is Stingray 72. I took you along for the ride. Thank you so much. You can take off your seatbelt now. And I appreciate your face being up in my face. And please like, share, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. And I thank you so much. Peace out. You got it. Bye.